And speaking of Women's History Month and transgender female heroes, this brings us to the case of Leah Thomas, the Penn swimmer, the trans swimmer from Penn University that had her last race ever. Oh, I don't know if the last race ever, but it seems like women's swimming after collegiates. Like, I don't know, is there a pro women's swimming league? I don't know. But she had her last race Saturday in the 100-yard freestyle swim and finished dead name last. That's the only joke I'm going to make. She finished dead last. Some people said she threw it. Some people said she threw the race. There's no way to verify that. She's not like Tiger Woods, because that's the thing, right? Because there's obviously this huge controversy because she did win the national title in the 500-yard freestyle, beating not one, not two, but three Olympians. Three people who were at the Olympics, the most recent Summer Games, as far as I understand. She beat three of them. But again, overall, her performance was fine because she raced like in many races. But again, not Tiger Woods. She's not dominating. She's not the whole idea that she's this crazy dominant thing. She's not, but she won. She did win. And again, fittingly enough, she did it during Women's History Month. Truly historic. I'll say this. I've said this before, and I will say it again. This whole thing is really just a trick. All of this is just a trick to make people care about women's sports, because we don't. As a society in America, we don't care about women's sports. Very minorly. America cares about their women's national team only because they're good. Canada cares about their women's national hockey team because they're good. Russia, they actually do like women's sports. Like the WNBA, all the WNBA players go over there because they love women's basketball. Maybe they are a more advanced society. I don't know, because they're not being forced into it. You know, they're not like, someone gave me these WNBA tickets, or someone's dragging me to the WNBA game. They don't, because nobody really cares. But I will say that what's going on right now with Leah Thomas is kind of a natural, because there's a lot of people who are upset about this, which understandably, I honestly don't really care. Like, you know, one of the arguments was, think about that poor girl who was, because I guess 8 people race, and then she was 9th. And if Leah Thomas wasn't allowed to swim because she's transgender, then that person who was 9th would have then been 8th. And you're like, look, if anything, she did you a favor. She allowed you to lose one less race. You know, like maybe I'm wrong on how this racing stuff works, but if you were, you know, going to be maybe 8th, then you weren't going to win shit anyways. And it's like, it's fucking collegiate women's swimming. Boo fucking who. If anything, this is good training for the people who say this shit's unfair. And you're like, yeah, stuff's unfair. Fairness is literally a concept. That's it. There's no such thing as truly fairness. It's a concept we've devised. You know, we'd like things to be fair, but they are not fair. But this, again, is just this natural outcome from us going from saying, like, you know, there's no difference, because there used to be, we go, there's trans women and then there's women, and you go, yeah, and she liked to be, you know, you treat her like a woman and she considers herself a woman, you go, fine, right? But then we did that, and then they go, okay, now one new little addendum, there is no difference between a trans woman and a biological woman. And almost every person knows that the two things are not the same. People don't say it because they like working and having jobs and stuff, which is understandable. But, and if someone identifies as a woman but is biologically male, there's nothing wrong with treating them, you know, with like some decency and, you know, acknowledging them as a woman, whatever. It's especially if it's not any sort of like issue in your life or whatever. But, you know, they're women, like Barry Bonds is the home run king. There's an asterisk. And I got to be honest with this thing too. I didn't always know, I mean, probably a lot of people didn't, but I didn't always know that trans women wanted to be considered biological women until 2016. And I know you're like, why 2016? That's so specific. But so I had, there's a booker of a Canadian comedy festival who was trans. And I put out this sketch, which if you see on my YouTube page, it's who's the new person, and it's a person with their whose name is who, and they have they them pronouns. It's confusion because it's confusing, right? And so I put out the sketch, and then I think I like tweeted at Joe Rogan or something at the time, and she messages me, and she's like, "Yeah, I can't believe you would tweet at Joe Rogan. He's transphobic." And the reason he was transphobic because he had the stance that biological men shouldn't fight biological women, and he was and is right, unless obviously the woman wants to, and then go for it. But you can't not tell them. That's fucked up, right? And we had this whole back and forth, and on the basis of which, basically, she believed that she was a biological woman, and she kept asking me all these questions. She's like, "Do you think I'm a guy in a dress?" And I'm like, "No, you're a woman. I was fine. I don't care. It's like it doesn't." Like, it's no issue for me. But then she kept really pressing the thing where she goes, "So what? You don't think I'm a biological woman?" And I'm like, "No, I mean, you're not." And I didn't even think I was saying anything crazy. I was just like, "You're not. I'm not trying to be a dick here. Like, you're making me feel like a piece of shit, but you're not a biological woman. I mean, I'm happy to use all your pronouns. And, you know, I say she, if you heard me talk about her, all that stuff." And she was going on really hard on this whole thing. That she's like and I realized, I go, oh, that's the next step is they need you to like admit that they are a biological woman. You know, it's not even like you have to kind of throw that part, which that's the part where everybody goes, yeah, but they're not biological women. But then everybody, you know, at the time people were like, what's the harm? What's the harm? Just do it. And people did. And now we have Leah Thomas. And this is what happens. And you know what? Good for Leah Thomas. Honestly, why the fuck not? Like, we really care about women's sports? Do we? Again, maybe I don't have daughters who play in sports, but like, what women make a living off of sports? Like golf? Tennis? I guess basketball? Which there's no transgender people in basketball. But that is a weird one. That's the one, until we get into sports that people give a shit about with the transgender stuff, it's hard for me to really care. But so I know I teased that we have a super duper special guest, surprise guest calling in. And so I am excited. I'm excited to announce that we have none other than Leah Thomas calling in to the show. Very excited about this. Let's see if we can get a hold of her.
Hello.
Hey, Leah, how's it going?
Great. How are you?
Excellent. This is Danny from Low Value Mail calling.
Oh, it's a pleasure to talk with you.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I'm just gonna put up your I put up photos of our guests, and I didn't get yours up.
Well, I hope you got the right one.
I did. I got the one from you, from your pen, whatchamacallit, your swimming photo.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
Cool. So I was just discussing that your accomplishments during Women's History Month, and you know, nobody ever gets to hear your side of the argument, you know, like people are just, you're in the news nonstop. Nobody gets to hear what you have to say. So I have a few questions for you, just real quick. And just let me know. So, Leah, what does beating all these fellow women during Women's History Month mean to you?
Honestly, it was just such an accomplishment to finally win at a sporting event, and I just was so proud and gracious to share the podium with those ladies. They're such great competitors.
With those ladies, yes. And that was your greatest achievement up until this point. That's no laughing matter, winning a national title.
Well, it's just great to be the best woman at swimming.
Yeah, right. And there was actually a reference made to you or about you that you were the Jackie Robinson of swimming. Have you heard that? That people say you broke down the barriers and you're the Jackie Robinson.
Well, I'm just flattered to be compared to another great athlete.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing the just the barriers that you're breaking down. And you know what? It's interesting because I read that and I go, really? There hasn't been a Jackie Robinson in women's sports. And then I was looking, and then I was like, I kind of thought there probably has actually, just nobody really cares, unfortunately. So you actually, like, even though you're not actually the Jackie Robinson, you are now, just because you were better than the previous Jackie Robinsons.
I think so.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
I mean, there's a lot more barriers to break.
Absolutely.
For me than this Jackie lady.
Yeah. I had even not heard of him. It's a him. But not he could be whatever.
Excuse me?
Sorry. You know what I mean? Like he could be whatever, but let's just go on. I have a few more questions because this is a big controversy. Some people are saying you actually lost your last collegiate race on purpose. You had won the national championship and then you came in dead last.
No. I mean, I didn't lose it on purpose. I was on my period.
You were on your period. Excellent. And now that's you have a period.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you get it? It kind of, I'm not a woman, but my girlfriend and mother are.
Clearly.
So yes. So what happens? You just go, you're about to go and you go, hey, because I guess it makes sense because
I had cramps and I didn't throw. If you're thinking that I threw it,
no, I'm not saying
on it.
No,
I don't like the accusation that I'm some sort of Michael Jordan here trying to make money off of a gambling debt or something. I had cramps.
Absolutely not. I didn't even know you could gamble on it. I was just wondering, but it makes sense because maybe if you put the tampon in, right, and then it absorbs all the water in the pool, I could see how that would really slow you down.
I think this is not a line of questioning. I
apologize. Leah, apologize. It's the people we're asking. I just have a couple more questions and then I'll let you go. So now that your collegiate swimming career is over, everybody wants to know what's next.
Well, I went to college much like every other woman with the intent of meeting a husband.
Yeah.
And who could take care of me. And so.
And how's that? I mean, there must be a lot of eligible men at swim meets. And at Penn University. I mean, that's an Ivy League school you go to. You got to be, there's no shortage of smart, potentially successful men out there.
Well, I mean, maybe because I'm a swimmer, they're intimidated by the broad shoulders or something. I don't know. Swimmer's physique, a lot of the girls, we don't have much luck.
Yeah.
With.
That's okay. Well, hopefully that works out. I mean, you're famous. I imagine you'll be doing all sorts of press once you graduate from school. So I imagine that the gentleman callers will be a call-in.
This is just the first start. This is the first start in my press tour.
Oh, I am honored. Honestly, I tried to get a hold of you. I could not believe that I was able to. I was shocked, to be honest.
Well, the phone is always on.
I appreciate you, Leah. Okay, last question, and then I'll let you go. Any final message for the haters?
The haters?
The haters, the people, your detractors, all the people who are saying that you should not be swimming because you were born in a man's body.
Well, they're just jealous,
even though you have a women's brain.
They're just jealous, and I'm not about to waste my time worrying about insignificant people who want to tear down institutions. I'm just more interested in swimming with the gals and then focusing on small-minded people. I mean, if you hate me, you must hate a part of yourself, and God knows I know what that's like. Yeah,
I mean, that is a very well put. Very well put. I think you have a very promising future, Leah, ahead of you. And thank you for calling in, and I wish you all the best.
It's my pleasure.
Take care.
And my phone is always on.
Okay. You know what? Maybe we'll get you a call back because especially.
Maybe you don't have to call me about the podcast. We could just call and gab.
Yeah, we could just chat. Not even record it. Just me and you. Just
yeah,
chat?
we could just get together.
Cool.
I'm looking for a husband.
You are looking for? I have a girlfriend actually, but
Oh, okay. Well,
but yeah. That's. I mean, I have a lot of friends though. Have you ever heard of this? My friend JJ Lieberman. He's kind of he's LGBT guy.
oh, well, I don't.
You're not into that.
I'm in the toilet.
Okay. All right, Leah. Thank you very much. I appreciate you very much, Leah.
Well, thanks so much for the
Take care. Bye-bye. All right, that was Leah Thomas, everybody, and definitely not comedian Dan Gyrie. Okay. We just wanted to get her side of the issue. Okay. That was Leah. Leah shooting her shot, as someone's saying in the in the thing, in the chat.